MAlzberg.
All right, folks, we welcome you back to the MAlzberg panel, and a very interesting conversation with Hank Scheinkopf. We'll get the views of our two panelists on some of the remarks he had made to me, and that would be columnist for Breitbart.com and American thinker C. Edmund Wright. And he's back, co-host of Steele and Ungar on SiriusXM Radio, and we're talking about Rick Ungar. Gentlemen, welcome to both of you. Interesting take from Hank, who's very honest, and Ed Koch used to call himself a liberal with sanity. I think that way of Hank Scheinkopf. He's a Democrat, but he always, to me, 99% of the time, he seems to be saying the right thing. And he thinks that this is bad news. The capture and bringing back to the United States for trial of Ahmed Abu Khatallah, the alleged mastermind of Benghazi. Edmund, Hank Scheinkopf says this is bad news for Hillary because it's going to keep Benghazi in the news. There's going to be a trial in criminal court with this guy. Facts are going to come out. Things are going to come out. And he says it can't be good for Hillary.
Well, no. It's kind of interesting there, Steve. First of all, they're portraying this as some great manhunt. I mean, this guy's been sort of walking around with impunity, ever since the Benghazi attack.
He's been doing interviews on CNN.
I know, yeah. And so, it's not like this took SEAL Team 6, led by Obama himself, parachuting in with Rambo's knife, clenched between his teeth, which, as I understand it, is how he got Bin Laden. But anyways, it's going to be interesting to see if he's been schooled by Susan Rice on the talking points on what it was that inspired him to lead this attack.
Well, I know, Rick, you don't believe that Edmund is actually saying that he's going to be given his own set of talking points and some deal has been cut. But let's get back to Scheinkopf's remarks. You believe that this is not good for Hillary?
He could absolutely be right, depending on how the timing of the trial works out. What I can't quite understand is why anybody wants to be so cynical about the fact that we captured this guy. How is that a bad thing, Edmund? Why do you feel the need to make fun of anybody? I don't get that. I mean, I know we all have our differences in parties, blah, blah, blah. This guy's an enemy of America. Why can't we just say, good, we got him?
Because he's been interviewed by CNN for months. That's one thing. But the other
I
thing
don't really
say
care.
Well, let me.
I learned
So
my
what?
cynicism from Lois Lerner and her lost emails. I'm sorry if I don't believe
great.
anything
Swell.
this
Yeah.
administration.
I don't.
Well, Rick, how do you explain? Look, how do you? I asked
know.
Ed Royce about this, the chairman of the Foreign Relations Committee in the House. I asked him about the timing. First of all, he's upset that Ansar al-Sharia was not declared a terrorist organization right after the attack. That it just it's 18 months later. And he said we both lamented the fact that this guy's done interviews, including on CNN. Yeah. So he couldn't have been that hard to find. And now, I'm just saying, I'm not saying this, and he wasn't saying it either, but lo and behold, by coincidence, as Iraq is blowing up in his face, now we take this mission on and get him.
I know this is extremely inconvenient for you guys, but in this country, those of us who actually are Americans first, as opposed to our political parties, we have this thing that requires evidence before you arrest anybody. The FBI was a part of this. This was never billed as some kind of SEAL 6 mission, as Edmund was talking about. This was a question of gathering enough evidence before you went in and arrested somebody. I'm sorry that doesn't make the narrative the way you would like it. And yeah, people go on CNN when they're criminals before they get picked up.
Rick,
Again,
Rick,
why can't we
Rick.
just be? Let me ask you, Edmund. Let me ask you a question. Are you suggesting that this guy didn't do it? Is that your concern?
No, I'm not suggesting that yes or no. In fact, I'm suggesting.
Let him finish. Let him finish.
Hold on a second.
Go ahead, Edmund.
Listen, I'm not going to sit here and have legitimate complaints and legitimate history on my side be demeaned as just talking points or a convenient narrative. Reality is what it is.
Sorry, I don't do talking points. I think we all know that.
Well, but Rick, you accuse both of us, both Edmund and I, of not being Americans first, and I think that smacks of desperation. Smacks of desperation in an argument.
No, it's not. If you think this guy attacked Americans, from what I've seen of the evidence today, and I've been looking at it, I think they probably made a pretty good arrest. Why the need to find ways to criticize when, as an American, you should go, we got this son of a you-know-what, and let's put him on trial? Why the need to have to take anything good that happens and twist it?
Let him answer. Go ahead, Edmund.
Stop. Oh, now the liberals are the big rah-rah America? Come on, give me a break.
Let him finish.
No.
The
What's
fact
liberal
is
or
that-
conservative got to do with it?
Well, Rick, you brought up Americans
Did I say
First and talking
conservative?
points.
Did
Well,
I
you were
say
implying.
liberal?
Look,
No,
look,
I didn't imply
I want to
anything.
know. I want to know from Rick, Edmund. I want to know from Rick why we had to do an FBI case. It sounds like Rick implying that we knew where he was. We knew he was on CNN. Criminals are on TV all the time, but we have to build a criminal case against him. Why didn't we have to do that for Bin Laden? Why didn't we have to do that for the mastermind Sheikh Mohammed?
I got bad news for you.
Yeah.
This is going to hurt. We absolutely built a criminal case against Bin Laden. We had an indictment, a sealed indictment against Bin Laden
why'd we
on
kill
any
him?
number of
What
charges.
right did we have to kill him?
Because he was going to kill them, remember?
Oh, okay.
Would you have been happier if they killed this guy as opposed to
No,
bringing him to trial?
I
What
would-
is your point?
Rick,
We
I would've been
build
happier.
cases against people before we
Let-
arrest
let-
them.
Go ahead, Edmund.
I would have been happy if the president and Hillary Clinton had done their job the night of Benghazi, hadn't left the special forces people
Yeah, what's
out
that
there,
got to do with
lasers
arresting
on
this
the
guy?
target, and then we could have had
What's
a
it got to do
rah-rah.
with
American.
arresting
Let him
this guy?
finish.
No,
No.
no, you know.
What's it got to do with arresting this
All right,
guy?
look.
It's just
Why?
diverting
It
it
should be
because you
bad.
can't bring yourself just to say this guy did something terrible to Americans. We captured him. We're going to put him on trial. Way to go. That's
No,
just
he's
way
gonna
too
be-
painful.
Rick.
Then say it, Edmund.
Rick,
say
Rick,
that
Rick,
you're glad we busted
Rick,
this guy.
this guy committed an act of war
He's accused.
on a
Right.
U.S.
He's accused.
embassy. What do you mean
He's
accused?
He's
He committed an
accused.
act of war.
Have you tried
on
him,
a
Stephen?
battlefield?
Have you tried him?
You
Have you tried him?
You don't try criminals of war.
No, yeah, you do,
In a criminal court
You
in
do.
downtown.
Oh, so what's that got to do with the fact that we arrested him? You can try and twist this any way you want. You want a military tribunal? Fine, have one. I don't
We
really
read
give a
him
damn.
his Miranda rights, Rick.
So what?
So what? We can't get any information out of
You
this
can
creep.
twist this all you want. Tell me one thing. All I've asked you guys is one question. As an American, are you glad that we brought in the guy who we think is responsible for doing this to people? That's a very simple yes or no. It doesn't take twisting it to, trials in
Yes, it
military
does. Yes,
or
it does.
trials
Yes,
in New
it-
York.
Rick,
Just
Rick.
answer the question.
Rick, I would have been happier if about 5 other better
seem to get a yes or
scenarios
no.
had played out, like he was killed that
But they
night.
didn't. Answer
or-
the
All
question.
right. Here's the.
Subsequently?
here-
Steve, why don't you answer the question? Yes or no?
I will speak for Edmund and
You don't
myself.
get-
Of
you don't
course,
get to
we're
say
glad
it's
that
a yes
he's
or
in
no
custody.
question when it's
the
not.
fact of the matter is the way the administration went about it for 18 months, watching this man do interviews, and now they're going to try him in criminal court, is the wrong way to do it. We're coming
Yes.
back, part 2 of the panel with Rick Ungar and C. Edmund Wright. Don't go away.